Hello fellow survivors, and welcome to a video about Prologue, the ambitious survival game currently in development with its massive procedurally generated worlds, which results in these huge environments that you have to traverse. And in this video we're going to see another run from the demo that is currently out on Steam, where I try to get to the weather station on the other side of the map. You'll see me traverse all sorts of different weather systems and night and lightning, and trying to find this particular weather station that's on the other side of the map. And you have a map to try and find it, but it doesn't tell you where you are. You just have the map, your environment, and a compass to try and find it. And this particular run proved quite challenging because there were some environmental issues that made it very difficult to navigate. And with that being said, let's hop in and see if we can find this weather station. Hello fellow survivors, and welcome back to Prologue. Go way back. The game is still in current demo form, although early access of the full game will be out soon. And I've played this game quite a few times now, and there's a lot to say about this game. It's quite revolutionary in terms of its massive scale and the huge procedurally generated maps. And I also interviewed the creator of this game, and there's a lot to say about its vision and philosophy. And in the end, it's kind of like a tech test, this whole thing, because they're going to see how well the game performs and how survival turns out before they can advance it into other games. And that means that there's a lot of elements in this that are quite unique because they're trying things out. Like the way you start fires is really interesting, how you have to actually create the fire by stacking tinder and stuff like that, and then you got to create sparks, and that will make the fire start. And you know, you don't actually do any crafting, you just stack stuff on top of each other and then you start a fire, which is fantastic. And there's things like how things interact, like you can pick up this cassette thing and you can drag it somewhere else, like, oops. You can put this inside the tape recorder, for example. I've actually done that, but you get the idea. Place inside it. Like that. I didn't do it properly. But you get the idea. That's not even the right one, it's over here. But you get the idea. There's all sorts of interactions, right, with this game, which is quite interesting. And it's only going to get more of it. It's a very unusual way to play the game. The emphasis, despite it often being advertised as the hardest survival game ever made, that's actually not true. That's something that the media basically said about this game, and then they thought about maybe it should be the hardest game, but they decided no, it's not going to be that in the end. And when I played this game so far, I've mostly been testing the mechanics of the game, how to start fire, how to loot things, all that sort of stuff. But today we're going to do something different. We're going to do the actual story and just try and do it as fast as possible, really. So it's quite unusual in that you don't have a map except the one you pick up, and it's procedurally generated. There's about 2.6 billion possible worlds you can get into, and you need the map to complete it. We'll have a look at that in a second. You also need the compass. Oops, sorry. Compass. We're going to take that, and we don't really need much else, really. Why isn't that going away? Go away. Yeah, there it went away. Let's take the apples with us as well. And we'll take some tinder with us as well, and just to have that make it easier. We don't have to get the tinder, but we'll take it. And the other stuff we don't really need, at least I'm not going to bother with it. Okay, and the jacket. Now let's have a look at this map. So what we want to do here, we want to go on the inventory, and we want to put the map as number 1, compass number 2, and then that's it. Branch takes up a ridiculous amount of space. This is one of the criticisms of the game, and that the inventory is a bit stupid. Like it's not particularly well organized. Like the scale of what you can put in is very weird. Like space the paper takes, for example. But that might change later. But for now, if you look at what's this, the compass. Did I drop it? Or is it 2 compasses? No, I dropped it somehow. Okay. Anyway, you get a map, and this is procedurally generated, and you can see it says you're here on the right, and then on the left it says go here. And that's it. So you now have to navigate on your own to get there. On a clear day, you might be able to see the weather towers. You might even want to go high up to find it. But you might not be able to. So you're just going to find your way there using orienteering effectively. Now, these circles that are on the map are other places of interest, other cabins. But this is actually quite deceptive because you look on the map, it's like, well, how many are there? 5, 10, 20, 24 cabins, I think, are mapped on here. But the reality is that on this map, there's about 400 cabins somewhere. And you can find other maps as you go along that will show you other cabins and where they are. Now, in this particular case, there's one very close that we could check out, which is to the northwest. And you basically have maps and terrain and rivers to navigate. So we basically want to go. You can see on the terrain that there is... It should be possible to get up the hill either close to the weather station or at the south of it. And this is a huge map. I think it's 64 square kilometers. So that's pretty big. But we're going to go northwest first to just find this cabin. And after that, we're just going to go pretty much just west until we get to the other side. There's a lot of rivers here, though, which makes this interesting. And there's a lot to explore, and you could survive in the world of its own. You just got to find the right supplies to get water and that sort of thing. But we're just going to head to the weather station. And you basically got to just... You can run there pretty fast, but it depends on the terrain. Sometimes you'll spawn on a map, and you can see the weather station right away. And this time, that's not the case. We want to go northwest. So that's like here, give or take. And there's the cabin. Parkour. And we're just going to run like... like this, I think it was. It's like right there. Northwest sounds about right. Well, there might be a cabin around here. It's very large scale, this stuff. There it is. There's a cabin. Normally they're not this close, but sometimes they are, because there's billions of possibilities here. So sometimes there will be cabins right next to you. And it might sound strange that they are so close, but actually it's more common than you think. I had one spawn where I spawned on the top of a mountain. And it was a barren tundra, and there was no trees. And I just looked around, there were like 4 cabins just next to me, basically. So it's actually not that unusual. And what we're going to do here is we're going to look around, see if there's anything I can pick up that'll be useful. Doesn't seem like there's a lot in here. It's pretty plain. In fact, there's nothing. It's just kind of like a temporary shelter still. And what we're going to do now, we're going to go... pretty much west, slightly northwest, and keep going till we find a river. It's going to take a little while, so maybe something like this direction, I guess. We can just run. And we're getting cold, but the cold actually goes down pretty slowly. Before I say anything else, just a quick disclaimer that this game is a killer on your computer. It's very demanding. As you can see, I'm actually getting some FPS drop. It's quite laggy. And I have a pretty high-end computer. And that's because of the large-scale procedural generated map. It's huge. So it's not optimized yet. This is just a demo, and that's going to be fixed in time. I do remember when I played PUBG, which is made by the same creator. Initially, it was just really rough for me, but eventually it got streamlined. There's another cabin. Oh, this is more like a barn. But the reason I'm mentioning that is because the desktop that I have is actually burning. Like it's really working hard to run this game, and as a result, the fans are going wild. Oh, you can't actually climb up here, can you? No, you can't. So you might hear some mild static in the background of my microphone. I have tried to record the audio separately, but I haven't been able to do it. I'm not sure why it doesn't work, but it just doesn't. But I think there's a lot of background noise you might not notice. Okay, we found some more wooden things. But that's it. There's nothing else really for us. I think we can just go. So this was another cabin. We're going to continue going west. Parkour. Bit of a strange thing to have a door here. This door leads into here. You can tell this is procedurally generated, right? Because it's not really... It's not like a real place. But this might be just a template. There's another cabin. See what I mean? That there's a lot of these cabins. See, I didn't know this until I interviewed the creator, a player unknown himself, and he gave me all this information. And once you realize that, you know, when you look at the map, you're like, okay, well, we got to find these points of interest. And then it's like, well, actually, this is like a fraction of the stuff you can find. Then, you know, suddenly there's so much more to this. I didn't bring fuses, so I'm not going to take some food with us. You can also just eat mushrooms. Oh, is that the water flask? There it is, yeah. Now we can actually refill our water in the river. You can open all this stuff, and like there's an apple I can eat. But I'm not going to check everything. Oh, what's that? Okay, there's a load of food. Can I just eat this? Yeah, just eat all of this. Actually, add some here, might as well. We don't really need to do this even, I would say. There's a radio. What's this? Unsure. It looks like it is. Let's have a look here. Let's drop this on the ground. Let's branch. I'm guessing this is a coat that for some reason I can't pick up. Why can't I pick this up? Is it because it's too big? But I want to wear it though. Maybe like this. Can I drop this? There we go, see? Wasn't that hard, was it, game? And yeah, what was that? What did I just pick up? A top. Ah, yes. That adds some insulation, yeah. Let's see here. Might as well have a look. But in the end of the day, you don't really need all this stuff because it's quite easy. A tape, that's cool. What is that? Sure, flare maybe? Oh, there's jeans on trousers. Doesn't really say much about what the insulation -5, insulation 10. What does that mean? -10. 8 degrees, and this is -10 degrees? That's a bit weird. Does that mean this is better? I guess. I'm not sure really, to be honest. Hammer, that's what that is. We don't need a hammer either. There's a lot of stuff you can do in this game, but the thing is, if you're doing a story, it doesn't really matter. Because you just need to get to the weather station. It's on the beds. There's something fall. I think maybe. There's a bed there, but you can't sleep in it. I haven't added that mechanic yet, if they even do intend to sleep in. You can see the ceiling is kind of wobbly in the storm. Oh, things are breaking. The windows are breaking. Because there's a storm out now. And I could repair this, but you don't really need to. We can keep going. Gosh. Let's see, map. We're going west. There's nothing to criticize this game for in terms of its design, right? It's got a lot of great sound design. And if you look at the terrain, look at that. Look at the trees. It's fantastic, isn't it? Raindrops. This is all procedurally generated, and it's complicated to pull this off. It's really complicated being able to tell a computer with machine learning to make something this complicated, using all the right assets to create a believable terrain. Now, there's still things to be desired here, like for example on the left there you can see some shelter, these rock formations, and these are all over the place. I'm walking now instead of running because it's raining and it's muddy, so my feet are kind of stuck. But these rock formations, these are all over the place, and they're kind of generic, not very natural looking. So yeah, I'm gonna make a fire, but not yet. I don't really need to, it's not cold enough. Despite the rain, it's just, yeah, it's not cold enough. The survival elements in this game are pretty toned down. So it's pretty easy to survive. Water's going down, but it doesn't matter. We can also look for mushrooms. I haven't really done that. And there's other ways to find North, like you can look for whether the moss grows on trees and that sort of thing. Like here, it's kind of all over. I think it's a different one. And if you look for these mushrooms, they are around. You can find some. And black mushrooms. Oh, frame drops. You can pretty much survive on just those. Gotta find some though. And it's raining and raining. It's starting to get colder, so I should maybe make a fire soon. I can start picking up some wood. Putting this all underarm. Take some sticks while we're at it. You probably can do this game without making a fire, but here there's some shelter. Raining a lot. Let's make a little fire. Maybe here? Why not? Why not here? We can just put this all in a little pile. And we also need some tinder, which we can just drop, I guess. Sorry. The controls are a little finicky. You have to kind of like equip the tinder like this. And kind of like put it like that. Now it's wet, so that means it's harder for this to catch fire. It should still catch fire. The tinder should really be underneath the fire as well, not on top of it, but we use what we got. You don't need the tinder, you can just do this. Light the branches, it takes a little while. There we are. See, now my warmth is going up. I could use some hydration, which we'll do when we get to the river. But for now, because the storm is raging, we're just going to warm up here a little bit and see how we get on. It's quite a loud game because when it's stormy like this, but it is also very beautiful. So again, oh, we got lightning. Again, if you think about it, the survival mechanics of this game is pretty basic. You know, you got heat, you got water, you got food, and that's it pretty much. And there's plenty of resources around. It's not that hard to survive, even in terrible conditions. But that's because this is more of a hiking simulator or like a exploration game. And that's it pretty much. But the way that the maps are generated to allow for a visually realistic world, really, is great. I love how you can make a fire. You just put stuff on top of each other and light the fire, and that's it. Now darkness has come, and look how scary it is now. And the lightning lights up the world. And the only beacon here is the fire itself. And the flashes of lightning. But that is impressive. This is an impressive image. I mean, look at that. This is an interesting dynamic. We're just going to stay here until we're warm enough, and then we're going to go. Let's eat an apple. Change the apple. That used to be different. Why can't I eat it? I want to eat it. Fine. Put it here then. Actually, my hunger is going down eating the apple. Actually, what is it? Okay. That was weird. Not sure what that was about. Okay, we're quite warm. I think we'll keep moving soon. It's impressive world building, really, with the technology that it is. This is why this game is exciting, based on what it's been able to achieve in just a demo form, right? Now, just imagine what this game will look like when it's more polished, when it's been advanced further, when procedurally generated maps are even better. You have less of these sort of generic assets like these rock formations. These are all over the place. And when this optimized a bit better, runs better on the computer, and yeah, there's also other mechanics they're adding. So this is a game that advances really fast, but it's going to be amazing to see what this game is like a year from now or something like that. Right, I think we should keep going, and I think we should keep going west, which is like this way. So let's just go this way. We can't see anything except for the lightning. So up with the flashlight we go. We're going to head west. I can't run because it's muddy. That's okay, we're just going to keep going. I'm not going to pick up any wood because I'll just make another fire later. I do appreciate that the game doesn't really hold your hand. It does have a basic input tutorial that you can see in the beginning, and you can click as H. Yeah, here. Tells you all the controls, but it doesn't tell you how to interact with things. It also is at night like this, really spooky. I mean, look at this. Imagine if I turn the light up now. Look how creepy this is. Walking around the forest, right? Super creepy. But there are, in its current state, there are no wolves. There are no predators, no people, nothing. You're all alone. There have been some screenshots of people running into monsters, but that was just like a stage stuff, I think. It's just you surviving alone. Now, should they add animals or predators? I don't know. In the long run, they're going to add multiplayer, so there will be other people. Nice. Vault this. No. But at the moment, it's just fear itself is your enemy, because it's the mushrooms I was talking about. These ones actually give you hydration. If I eat these, my hydration goes up. So you look for those, and you can survive quite easily. I am going the wrong direction. People have done speedruns with this as well. Get to the weather station where they have said they're going to do it without the compass and without a map, and it's perfectly possible as well. Here's more of these. Oh, frame drop. Massive frame drop. Yeah. He's going to keep going. There's no stamina bar, so as far as I know, I think you can just run forever, pretty much. There's different biomes as well. In the current state, in the current demo, I think there's 4 different biomes. I haven't tried all of them. So this is the woods one. There's different ones, and I think there's more coming as well. It really sounds... you really get a feel for being followed here. Because you got all these sounds around you. It's actually really spooky. You constantly have this feeling, kind of like a Slender Man. Even though your own footsteps are a bit eerie, they don't really... Oh wait, my water bottle. Oh well. That's alright. That's okay. We'll make do without it. Let's see what's in here then. Some food, which I guess we could just eat. Eat all of this, or most of it anyway. More fire we can make. We might as well just light this fire while I'm exploring in here. But at least while I'm exploring, I'm warming up. Let me see. We don't really... We kind of got everything we need, but I'm just seeing if there's another water bottle. We're doing quite well. Huh? Let me just see if there's water or something in the fridge. Is that a light bulb in the fridge? Okay. There's snacks. We're kind of full with food, so we don't need any of this stuff. Oh, what's that? Hat. That unfolded quickly. Interesting interactions there. Yeah, so is that another compass? Yeah, in case you wanted 2 compasses. Hey, a floppy disk. And I found a scarf. Or a top, rather. It's 5. See, I don't understand how that works, but water gives water, okay. Okay. think we're done here. Again, rock formations, as you can see. We're going to keep heading west until we find a river, basically. Then you get a sense of the scale on this thing. It's another cavern. See what I mean? That if you look at the map, there's only so many caverns or points of interest, but there's so many. We could be in one of these points, but I don't think so. But I also get a sense of scale here, like how large is this world? Like we haven't found the river and we've been running for a while now. Don't even need to loot this stuff. But I'm just having a look. There's planks. You can use these planks to repair the windows with the hammer. That's an interesting feature. But again, we don't really need to. There's is that gloves? A hat. Yeah, I found a hat. That's nice. -10. Again, I don't really understand how that works, but... What is that? Is that a backpack in a freezer? I think it is. Yeah, it is. That is funny. We're gonna swap. Look at that. But I mean, obviously I want to take my stuff, mate. Oh, I wish there was an easy way to do that. Now I can carry more stuff, isn't that nice? You can put some of these tinder things in here. It's tedious, isn't it? The inventory system really needs reworking. But now I can carry more stuff. Good thing I checked the freezer and there was something in there, huh? We might as well take some food with us in that case. Stocks. Got a lot of stuff now. You don't need all this stuff, so... Canned food. See what I mean? There's a load of food everywhere, so you're not really... Oops. You're not really running out of stuff. We can just go. Now we can see some terrain. You can see in the distance there's a hill. That looks a bit like... You can get your bearings that way too. So that hill is to my north. And if you look on the map, that is presumably... Come on, look on the map. That's presumably those cliffs you see there, the edges. So we are possibly in that circle that's northwest of where it says you're here. So we're like a little bit less than halfway there, like one further away maybe. Okay, we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep going west. Right. When you have clear visibility, and there's not a lot of obstruction in terrain, you can really see a lot. Again, like the tundra biome. Yeah, look, there's moss on the trees, by the way. Grows, like, oh, well, this is actually lichen. You can pick this up, I think. And I don't think it's used for anything. It might be tinder, actually. It might be used for tinder. Not like bandages, like in the long dark. Again, more rock formations. Trees have fallen off. Again, like, the look of this is fantastic, really. How they have been able to make a computer that can generate this is very cool. You know, considering it randomly throws together rocks and trees and stuff, it looks very good. Is it realistic? Well, to a certain degree, yes. But then, of course, you have the same rock formations again and again here. And here you have, like, trees, and then you have all these rocks, which is a bit weird. I don't think I would see that in nature. It's a bit strange. You can tell it's random, but it's okay. Here we are. This must be the river. So we reached the river. There's a cabin on the other side. But to cross the river, I need to find a point where I can actually get up. Here it looks like you can over there. Also over there. There's different places you can do it. I think we can probably cross here. Whoops. Tried swimming there, but... Can I just get up here, please? This also is a bit frustrating, right? I can't get up here. When I really should be able to. And you're right there, right? It's really easy. And if you go down in the water, it's not easy. The collision is a bit weird. So this still leaves a lot to be desired. I should be able to get up here, but I can't. Which is a bit frustrating, as you can see. It shouldn't be this hard, but it just is. Like, if I jump or click vault, I really should be able to get on top of this. But the game is not letting me do it. So, this should be climbable, but it's not. So instead we gotta just find a way out. That's a bit frustrating. Well, here's okay, right? This doesn't make any sense. Why would you be okay going here? This is a slippery slope. So yeah, so this particular system needs a bit of work. We'll get there eventually, I'm sure. We got it. You can't vault over things. Okay, we are now wet. I think actually the clothes are wet now. Yeah, they're wet, so they're soaked. Let's eat our mushrooms. Okay, so now we cross the river. Somewhere, I'm not sure exactly where, but we'll figure that out. We have to cross the river again, it seems like, so let's just keep heading west. Actually, we can kind of tell, though, the river is running like that. It's running like southwest. So that would suggest we are in one of two possible places on the map. I wish I could point to you, but we're on the, like, near the center of them. Okay, so it doesn't really change anything. We're gonna go west either way. And keep going. You can drink from the river, but I just didn't get around to doing it. But also I forgot my water bottle. I left it, but that's okay. Let's keep going west. Keep eating mushrooms, because these mushrooms are safe. They give you energy. They also give you water. So might as well just eat all of them. There are mushrooms you can eat if you boil them. The boiling mechanic isn't really well implemented at the moment. That will probably come later. But it's kind of like a green hell style mechanic where you don't really know what the mushrooms do, so you have to figure it out. At the moment, like I said, the survival mechanics here are very easy. They're really secondary. This is a Subnautica style game where what matters is the exploration. Survival is secondary. And here we have one of our interesting cabins again, or barns. The sound is great. The only thing is that for some reason it sounds like it's coming, like it sounds almost like you are not making the sounds, but someone who's standing like right next to you is making the sounds. So if I, easy when you run, but it sounds like someone is just to my left or just to my right, and they are the ones making the sounds, which is a bit distracting. But that might also depend on your sound system and that sort of thing. Load of mushrooms there. If you hold E rather than clicking E, you just eat it. As you can see, my hydration is quite high now. I've done orienteering, by the way. So if I get lost, it's doubly embarrassing. I wouldn't be surprised if you can defeat this game by just pretty much running to the place and not stopping at all, except for maybe to make a fire, but that's another little area of interest. A lot of these little clearings. I do like the look of these clearings, even though I'm not sure how much sense they make. Yes, they make sense. This is kind of like, I'm from Norway, so the terrain looks pretty familiar to me. What is this? Backpack. But I don't think we... The school backpack. But we're not going to swap that, though. That's okay. Tinder, and this way you can find... No, as long as you have another map. Pliers. I don't see why... Grill. We're going to take that grill. I'll show you why later. You can use that to put a fire, make a fire that doesn't roll down the hill and that sort of thing. I might not use it, but if I do. So I think here, this is swampy, so here I can't run. Yeah, so that wasn't clear before, but now through the visuals of it, you can tell this is swampy. Another building, or is that where I came from? I think that's another building. We're not going to check it though. I'm going to find every building on this map. And because it's randomly generated, it isn't logically generated, I guess you could say. Like, there's a lot of nuance that's missing. Obviously, they have an algorithm that I don't know the intricacies of. That probably says things like there must be X amount of distance between each cabin, and you know, these trees go in a bundle and this and that. There's all sorts of rules to how this is made. And the way they have done it is basically they have, as I understand it, basically the computer makes a low-res version of a large world, and then machine learning transforms that low-res world into a high-res procedurally generated map, which is what we're playing now. And this is Unreal, but the game will not continue in Unreal, as in this game will probably be Unreal, but they're going to make 2 more games in like a kind of like a 10-year plan for game development. Damn, I ran right into this swamp. And they will be using a different engine called Melba, which is in-house, and they will be using they're testing the limits at the moment of how far they can make large worlds. If you want to see what Melba looks like, you can go on Steam and you can download a tech demo called Preface or Preface, which is basically a planet-sized random map generator. Yeah, that's right, it's a whole planet, which is insane. And the idea is basically to make kind of like this game, but in a planet scale, basically. So that's kind of the plan here. And at the moment you can see, even though it's pretty basic, it's a huge map. I mean, we've been walking for so long, and you could just stay here and survive. At the moment there isn't any sort of measurement in how long you have survived. I told the creator that that's something they should maybe add. It could be as simple as just on the map or some log. You can just manually click a box whenever you have a morning, for example. Just to get a feel for how long you survived, you know? At the moment there isn't such a thing in the game. And that's because there's only really an objective, which is to get to this weather tower. There is a story to this game that's coming, but that's coming later. They're focusing on getting everything right first, in terms of the mechanics, and then they will implement the story after. But they have a story in mind, so it's not like they're gonna, you know, take it off thin air. And if you think about it, those of you watching me, I guess the majority of you are playing The Long Dark, so that's like the natural comparison. It's the best video game ever, especially survival. And The Long Dark actually was similar in its early access. The first early access of The Long Dark was story mode, so the story came first. But a lot of the playtesters of that version, which was only available for Kickstart backers, what happened was that a lot of the players didn't really want to have early access to a story. They wanted to play the story when it was more fleshed out. Oh, look at this light coming through. That's beautiful, isn't it? That's cool. Very nice. Beautiful. And what they ended up doing was they released what's called sandbox mode instead. Pretty. And then people could just try out the game that way. I have this famous thing, I found this last time too. You got a toilet, a satellite dish. So The Long Dark also was early access first, was just the mechanics, and then they transitioned into the actual story. Story came first, but because of how the story was received, they went with survival first. Okay, so here we are at the river again. So we must be, I know where we are more or less now, because we crossed once and that was going southwest, so we must have been up there. It's kind of like in the middle of the screen. I wish I could point. That'd actually be an interesting mechanic here. Player unknown, or anyone else is watching. Have it so that when to watch this map, I have to hold the button down, right? I'd like to see if I now right click or something, I could get a mouse pointer so I can actually point on the map. That would be nice. Or maybe even have a marker where you can draw on the map. That would be good, because then it'd be easy also for content creators explaining where we are. So I know where I am pretty much. I'm like, more or less, you see that the large river in the middle of the map that goes straight up? We're basically there, as I understand it. So we need to go a bit more kind of like northwestish now. Okay, so now we got to cross. We got the same problem as before. Where did we cross? Don't know. We'll figure it out. There's nothing over there. I bet you can't cross there, but we'll see. We'll just jump right in through it. And this also is work in progress, as you can see. Is that a bridge over there? I don't think there's any bridges. And look, the hail is actually landing on the ground under the river. That's funny. Oh yes, this time it worked. It worked this time, but not the other times. That's weird. And look, the ground is actually changing. Look at this. This is a really nice attention to detail. The ground is changing into more hail form. Oh, another minor detail that I would like is if I equip this compass, right? If I want to unequip it, I have to click 5, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 quick slots. Click number 5, it holsters it away. It's a very, very small thing. I would very much like it to be that if I click 2 to get the compass up now, if I click 2 again, it should holster it. In my opinion. It's just a bit, it's a small thing, but it makes it just more fluid. I think you should go slightly northwest now. We should actually make a fire suit. We still got a long way to go, but we are over halfway now. If I find a cabin, I can start a fire there. If not, we will just make one in the open. Food is not an issue. There's so many mushrooms around that you can just eat. We're just going to keep going. There's a cabin there. Let's have a look at this cabin. I think I saw a cabin at least. Over here. Is it a cabin? Yeah, it is a cabin. Let's go here and have a look. A salad dish. Maybe I can watch HBO on here. You can't burn the cabin down, but you can burn some of the elements inside the cabin. Let's get inside. And here we are. Alright, just quickly check something. Oops, sorry. I guess that was going to happen. The jacket. Let's just start a fire again. Just to warm up. Very nice. We can actually put some more on there if we want to. I don't think that's necessary, but... It's kind of like a weird noise there, but okay. Do a couple more of these. Oh, it's the sound of the hail on the roof, that's what that is. There you go, let's just have a quick look to see if there's a water bottle around. Don't really need it, but... Only time for sleep. Keep picking up these books. We'll drop that. I don't really see anything. I mean, I found a backpack in a freezer. Hey, a cooking pot. I'll take that. Not that we can really use it for anything, but... Shame I forgot my, another backpack, but we got that already. I don't think there's anything we need there. Alright. I think we're warming up. Things are going well. I don't think there's anything else you need there. We can have a look in this room, I guess. Can't drink the toilet water, like in the Langdal. Does this toilet actually work? Actually, this looks like a regular toilet, right? But there wouldn't be any plumbing around here. There's no plumbing system. In fact, if you look under... I just realized this now. So the toilet's in here, right? It's right in there. Where does the toilet go? Where does that toilet go? It goes nowhere. That's a bit, I guess, yeah, it's not a priority, is it? But, where does this toilet go, huh? Where does it go? Nowhere. Okay. We're warming up, we're doing fine. I can just eat something. Eat this kibble. Lucky dog. Let's eat that. And we can eat this sweet corn as well. Oh, basic socks. No, that's good. We can drop that. I didn't realize I picked that up. Cooking pot. But the cooking pot doesn't work. I can't, at least I haven't figured out so far. If you can't use it to say pick up hail or rain or whatever. That might come later though. Okay, we're warm. Let's get it. turning into night, but that's okay. We're gonna keep going northwest of this direction. Okay, I can't it's Walter, thank you. You can see the lights. Okay, cool. Let's keep moving. And we want to go roughly this way, give or take. You can actually see it now. You can see the end cliffs here. If we take this down. See the terrain in the distance there, the cliffs? Up there is the weather station. Roughly this way, I guess, yeah. Keep going. We're warm, hydrated. This is swampy-ish, I guess. Let's check. Yeah, this is fine. You should be able to do this without a torch, but it just makes it easier. But you get the idea. You see how this game is, right? So now I'm just trying to get to this weather station. And it's really far away. I mean, the scale of this map is insane. So, in its current state, the game is pretty much just this. You can walk around. Now, you can ignore going to the weather station to survive. You should be able to survive a really long time. Because there's so many, so much food. Like, if there's 400 cabins, right? Or at least points of interest, many of them will have food. And you can just keep looting it. And there's tons of mushrooms around. So food should last you a long time. And the mushrooms also give you hydration. So you should be able to survive a really long time. And there's a load of places to explore. But for the most part, my impression anyway, is that many of them are copy-pasted cabins. Right? They're the same select few, like, what's it called? Items. Copy-pasted on a repeat. There aren't any unique locations that stand out. Like sometimes you have games like this where they are procedurally generated and there's like, you know, say it's 5 generic cabins, 5 different ones, and they are looped. And then there's a few unique cabins that stand out that you find here and there. And that doesn't seem to be the case here, but that could come later. This doesn't look right. What's happened here then? See this? I'm not sure you can tell unless you're watching with headsets. But when I walk here, like walk to the right and down, it sounds like the sound's coming from my right. It sounds, and now it's from my left. But it sounds like it's not me making the noise. It's someone walking next to me, which is kind of eerie in itself. And you turn like, is someone there? And there's something about the woods. Actually, I'm playing this game right now, and I know there's nothing out there, because they haven't added anything yet, and I don't think they will. But it still is spooky. Forests, I love forests. I hiked a lot in forests in my childhood. But oh, it's creepy. Alright, so here we found some more stuff. Wood. Chips. You can hear some music if you want to. What's this? Oh, it's the vest of some sort. Same here, bed. You don't really need any of this stuff. We can eat the apple, I guess. The apple, for some reason, they won't let me eat. You just gotta actually pick it up. This isn't quite right, I don't think. Fuse, floating fuse. Alright, so we're kind of approaching the cliffs now. We are, can't really see with the map, but, well. We need to still go north, like, so northwest-ish, something like this. There's no backer in the flashlight either, but I don't mind that. It's just, you know, that would be a bit annoying if you had to do that. There's some unique plant objects here and there, which are cool, but you can't interact with them. For the most part, you can pretty much ignore the plant life, except for these mushrooms. These are the cattails of this game. Okay, here we reached the cliffs. Okay, so we reached the cliffs. Now we gotta find a way up. So, can't really tell, but we gotta go a bit more north. It looks to be a passage up. That doesn't work. I think we have to go all the way south. That's one of the things that I find a little bit annoying with this game. that the weather station is typically on high ground, which makes sense, it's a weather station. But because the map is procedurally generated, it does a pretty poor job in making the levels accessible, the upper levels. It doesn't do a very good job at that. It will just randomly create cliffs and terrain, and you just gotta hope you can get up there easily. And usually it's just 1 or 2 entrances, and there are cases, I mean, there are 2.6 billion worlds, there are cases where people couldn't get up at all. There are no entry points at all. It's literally impossible to do it. And that's obviously not a good thing. You don't want to create a game where literally it's not possible for you to complete the game. That's not good. But that's also why it's a demo form now and then early access, because they want to see, you know, that happen so people can get out, they can fix it. This is not traversable, I don't think. I don't think you can go there. If you look at the map now, we're approaching this little Indig, that's surely not, you can see on the map also, there's like breaks in the cliffs, and I think that's the best shot of getting up there. We're going to try that, I think. I don't think you can get up here. I mean, you can try, but it's not going to work. It's too steep. You'll just fall back down. But yeah, won't let you do it. Oh, the sun's, look at that ray of sunshine coming. That is good. That is beautiful, how that shoots through the trees like that. So you got to hand it to this game. Despite it being a survival game only as a technicality, the aesthetic of it and the ambition of it is quite admirable. There's a lot to this game, despite its current sort of primitive state. But this is a game that easily could be really good. It just needs more fleshing out, basically. What you're playing is a prologue to the game Prologue, basically. Okay. Let's keep going. There's a cabin up there. That's interesting. See if you can get there. You can die in the game, by the way. If any of your meat is reached 0, this is one of those games, where if your meat is reached 0, you die. So if your hunger goes down to 0, you die of hunger. And cold, you die. And not like, say, in The Long Dark, or Green Hell and most other games, really, where if it reaches 0, you start losing health. You have a health meter, and your health goes down if your meters aren't full. Here it's not that, it's just you die if they go down. But they are very large meters, so they last for a while. I think maybe you can get up here. Hope so. Okay, I didn't even vault there, I just... Okay, alright. I saw a cabin here somewhere. Where did it go? I think we should be able to get up here. There's a cabin. So can you get up to this cabin? Who built the cabin there? Whose idea was that? Yeah, you can also die from fall damage. You can slide down a cliff and die. Oh, frame drops. There isn't a health meter, at least not a visible one. But if you fall too far down, you just die. Can I get to this cabin at all? I'm just curious now. Who built this? I don't think this is accessible unless you slide down from the top. Yeah, you can't get up there. See what I mean? You just slide. I don't think you can get up there. Look at those steps, though. Look at that. See, no, I can't get up there. Don't tell me I died. I'm rolling. Holy moly, I went flying. Wow. Look, the ground's getting covered in snow. Look at that. Good thing I didn't die. Fell really far. And this is a nice detail. The snow was covering the ground, and now you have snow sounds when you walk around. That's very, very cool. I like that. That is a detail that a lot of survival games wish they had. But yeah, look at this. Who built this cabin? You can't even get to it, and there's like some stairs going to the side. But it looks like you can get up here at least, I think. But we found one of the ways up, which is good. This is what I pictured would be the case based on the map. We're not really losing any warm. In fact, actually, we're going up in warmth. You can see my warmth meter, which is the only one with numbers on it. It's very, very, very slowly increasing. It's probably because we found these insulation layers. So now we're actually warm. We got cold fusion activated, you could say. And we're getting higher and higher. And the higher I get, the easier it will be to see where the weather station is. Oh, a little cabin. We could go in here, but now we're almost there, so there's not much we really need, but we can check it out anyway. Oh wow, snowed in, huh? Is that meant to look like that? I kind of doubt it. Anyway, so we are actually almost there. I think I know where we are. We are to the right of where it says go here. A bit down and right, I think. So we need to go slightly northwest, I think. I think that's where we are. We could be in a different place, but we should eventually be able to see it, so yeah, I think that's right. The higher up we go, the easier it will become. If you go high enough and the weather is clear, we can just see the weather station. Looks like there's a storm coming. What's this? It's a random hob and a table. Cool. Oh, we got a blizzard. Gonna go higher and higher. Blizzard also is very well designed. And look at this, now there's snow on the ground. Blizzard is raging. We found our toilet scene again. We're gonna head, yeah, basically this way, I think. Eventually we should be able to see the weather station, because it should be pretty high. And also there's a note on the map. There's kind of like a rock formation that's pretty large, that we probably can't get up. So we gotta, if you find that, it will be around it. And I'm in one of 2 places on the map. Either way, we'll figure it out. This is where it would be nice if it was a clear day, because then I could go up this hill and I could just see where the weather station was. But because it started snowing, I can't see anything. Parkour. I want to get up here. Unless you can't get up here, in which case the weather station is this way. In fact, it might be that. This might be that terrain. See that? See the... oh god. After the cliffs on the map, there's this kind of like large grey rock just to the right of where it says go here. I think we're on the other side of that place. We might have to make a fire though, that's the only thing. Getting kind of cold here. Let's make a fire. Just pick up some stuff. We don't freeze to death. This is getting cold very, very fast now. Just find some shelter somewhere. Doesn't really matter where. Pick up some stuff. Down here is fine, I think. It's even better as a cabin. Not even a cabin, but you know what I mean. Let's make a little fire here. Gloves. We'll just put some stuff. Can I actually put them here? Fire to this thing. That would be fun. I don't know if you can, but we'll try. Okay. We also need some, there we are, some sticks. We're just going to put here. The game doesn't seem to like what I'm doing. I don't think it likes it. Let's just put some under here. Actually, marginally warming up here because I'm in cover. The sound seemed to have died a little bit. This should do it. Let's just take this and place this on top. Can I take this? Huh? What's that? Oh. Wait, what? What am I doing? Ah. Alright. Can I pick up this? Oh, that? No. I'll pick up the cardboard boxes so I can tell. Oh, I can, wait. I can. Where do they go though? Well, they turn into cardboard. Oh, okay. Down though. Storm? Not storm. That's a bit weird. That'll be improved though. Anyway, I think we are now very, very close. And we just gotta get around it. It would be nice though if the storm kind of subsided a little bit, because it drained my warmth really, really fast. But if this cabin wasn't here, well, it's not even a cabin, it's a boathouse. You know, for a summer vacation. A little boat trip up here in the mountains. On dry land. I even got a tire. No. And an oar. Oh yeah, the binocular, we can take that. Why not? Okay, I think I want to wait a little bit. Just because it'd be nice for the storm to go away. Let's eat our smoked salmon and apple. Again, the apple, for some reason you can't eat the apple, you have to equip it, which is just weird. Just weird. And this grill, can I? Dish rack. You can place the dish rack on top here. And you can start grilling stuff, which is cool. I don't really have anything to grill though. But yeah, you get the idea. He's carrying this around. Alright, where's my... yeah. Go on. Can you, like, subside soon? Why is there a pier? Look at this. Why is there a pier? It doesn't really achieve anything. I think the weather station is right over there. I think that's where it is. If it's not, then... Well, like, where are we exactly if it's not there? Because there's a rock formation. And... Oh, it always lowers itself. It's a bit annoying. I can't see where else on the map that would be, unless it is... I don't really see anywhere that would be... Doesn't seem to make sense to be anywhere else but here. Unless... Well, we can find out. That's another reason I would prefer, if this storm could go away, we can get a better idea where we are. I don't think it's going to last much longer. It seems to be clearing up a little bit. We can see better now. I think we're just going to head out. Now, can I get up this hill is the question. We're heading northwest. It is dying down the... I think you can get up here actually. Let's have a quick look. Can I get up on this way here? I don't know if you can actually. I don't know if you can. Let's keep going. But yeah, now the whole terrain has changed into snow basically. Okay. Now it's almost like you're playing a whole different game. But yeah, I think the weather station is around there. This does look like the cliff that you doesn't look like you can get up there. Now we're heading along the coast here, so to speak. Heading northwest. Is that right? Possibly. What's that noise? It would be nice if I could get higher and I can actually see another like area of interest. Wrecked cars, that's cool. Wrecked cars. And some chairs. As you do. That's neat. Yeah, it would be nice if I get up there so I can see where I am. Just to make sure I am going the right way, but it looks like you can't get up there. In which case it must be the one I'm thinking of. It must be this way here. Crazy noises. Oh, am I in the swamp again? I hate that. I hate that. Oh, I hate this so much. Please slow down. I understand it. I understand. You're walking in mud. You can't run. I get it. But God, it's so frustrating. I really hate it. I think this is where... The only thing is that I'm heading... This is north. It shouldn't be north. If it is, then I should be going more this way. Like here. That's where I should be going. Again, if I could get up there and just see where I am, that would be great. It looks like maybe you can get up over here. Maybe. We can see. This is where it becomes a bit harder because you gotta know your way around. It's a procedurally generated map, so that only goes so far. Let's see if we can get up here. So you can see the weather tower, which I think should be roughly this direction here. West. Outside of the rain. Great. Can I get up here? Would be nice. No. Not at all. Doesn't seem like it, no. Odd. How about here? Hello? Oh, up here. Can I go up here? No. Nope, not letting me do it. The fingers are a bit messed up. I think the weather section actually is over here. I still would like to get up here if I can. It looks like you should be able to now. If I can see where it is. And now I can get up here. Rock formations are a bit messed up. I'm not going in the right direction now. I just wanted to see if I can get a view of where I'm going. We need a better weather though. Okay, let's get as high as we can. Need to make a fire again soon though. And find some mushrooms. Let's see how high we can go. Really bad weather. Now we can get some visibility, see? This is what I had in mind. What is this? Let's go. Oh, I hope I don't fall down here. This would suck if I fall down here. Don't fall down. Okay, you're not meant to go there. Clearly. Oh, janky. Okay, I don't see the weather station anywhere. Weird. I think you should be able to get up over here though. Just keep going. I don't think you'll die falling down here. If we go... Let's make a fire soon. Let's just get some wood. Or rather, let's find some wood. Not a lot of wood around though. Probably some here. Comes the sunlight. Pretty, but there's no wood around. It's the wood when you need it, huh? You're welcome with me. There's a car. Any wood around here? Nice to not die. Yeah, it's a load of wood probably, because there's like fallen trees. Wood? See any wood? I saw like broken branches and stuff, but there's no wood. I want to get high. Oh, come on. Hey, it's actually a little bit harder now, because I can't get any wood. It's getting cold as well. Let's see if I can see the weather tower though. Come up here. And wood, where is my wood? Huh? No wood around here at all. They were high up now at least. Any weather power in sight? No? None that I can see. Then we're obviously in the wrong area. Getting dark as well. Alright. This side looks a little bit grim actually, because I need wood. Oops. And I'm not really getting any. We should be going north, because I couldn't find a weather station anywhere. But yeah, there's no wood around here. It makes kind of sense. You're in a high altitude, so there'll be less wood. I guess that makes sense. But at the same time, there's trees everywhere. There should be wood. I couldn't see anything. It's starting to get really cold now. So I gotta find some wood, or shelter, or both. Otherwise I'm gonna die. Simple as that. All these trees, but I can't do anything about it. Maybe if I had a hatchet I could chop it off, but I don't think that mechanic's in the game. We gotta get lower now. Again, all these trees falling down, but it might be an altitude, it's simply an altitude mechanic that when you're high up you don't get any wood. I guess that's possible. I didn't see the weather station anywhere, so must be in the wrong place. Simple as that. It is interesting for sure. Okay, now I'm getting cold. I need to get down. Need to make a fire. Slide. Oops. Did I die? No, I just took a shortcut. Okay, let's find... Here there must be wood, right? Now we're lower down. Am I gonna die? We're gonna do something. Yeah. It's something. Okay, I burned for about 2 seconds. Might actually die here, yeah. Because there's no wood. Where's all the wood gone? Do we really need to bring wood this far in? Actually getting warm though. I think because I'm out of the snow. I'm actually getting warm. Yeah. I'm not as high up anymore. They're actually getting warm now. Let's put our compass back in number 2. I'm heading northeast. That's not good. I think we need to go north. I was really surprised that the weather station wasn't there. And I wasn't given the opportunity to really look around. Now I actually don't know where it is. Still really confused as to why it wasn't there. I'm trying to figure out where that was on the map. It is a bit odd that it wasn't there. Where's the wood? There's like no wood around, like at all. I'm getting warm though because the weather stopped. But still, this is weird. Where did all the wood go? There's like nothing around it. The whole thing is just barren. What is this place? I'm not supposed to be here or what? You know. There has something. Or broken cars. Anything here at all? What was that? That was creepy. I think you can actually set these this on fire, I think. I'm not sure you can do it like this, but you can set it on fire. Let's try. Let's see. Can I light it on fire this way? Don't know if you can, but you can try. No. Well, at least I'm warming up. But there's nothing here. Like, it's completely barren except for this. Where the heck am I then? I could have sworn that... What? I can't really have to tell now where I am. Trying to figure out where I could have been if I wasn't where I thought I was. It's kind of hard to see when you're shaking. No mushrooms either. This is weird, yeah. See, the shaking can stop maybe. Nice aesthetic at least. Let's just keep going while we wait. What is this exactly? Warming up though. Sun's coming out. Shouldn't be cold anymore. They're shaking though. So where do we go? North is this way. South is this way. To me it looked like it would be north. That's where I came from though. I didn't see anything to the south. So I think actually it is north. Like northwest or something, yeah. Let's just continue going this way. But now, shaking still? Still shaking, okay. Yeah, I'm actually not entirely sure where I am. I thought I knew where I was, but I guess I didn't. Let's just head north. And figure this out. I was pretty sure that that big plateau I was on was the one on the map. I couldn't see the weather station anywhere. And there's no wood around here. This is be weird. Is it like a switched biome? The one that doesn't have anything in it, just these cars. I'll get out of here with this mud stuff. Oh, at least it made it challenging, right? There's another toilet setting. Let's pick up this cardboard. Oh, come on, why can't I? Oh, screw it. See if you can spot something. It starts clearing up. An interesting feature would be when you die or when you succeed, then the game will show you a trail of where you went. That would be very cool. I would like that. You can see how miles away you were. I mentioned earlier I was in orienteering at some point. I never said I was good at it. No. I still am amazed though that I can't see any wood anywhere. Like nothing. There's nothing. No sticks. Nothing. I suppose it is meant to be some sort of altitude thing, that you're higher up and therefore you don't have any, but there's all these trees everywhere. Can I grab a branch, for example? No. I've been too easy, I guess. Warming up, which is nice, but no wood, no real idea where I am, which is a bit annoying. You just gotta find something that can tell me where I am, some sort of landmark or viewpoint or something. I'll also settle for just some wood, but there's really nothing. Again, like, the design of this is fantastic, and I love the aesthetic of it and the scale of it also, but I'm actually struggling a bit. It actually suddenly turned into a hard game. I like that though, of course, but why is there no wood here at all? Like, why? Doesn't make any sense. Should be less wood, sure, but... Okay, here we found something. Is this the river, is it? Probably the river, I guess, down there. Yes, there's the river. Okay. It's cutting through, so... It looks like actually the river's going uphill. In which case we're over here, yeah. Wait, what? What direction are we facing? What direction is that? There's east. Okay. So the river's going east. Am I... Okay, so the river's going east. Yeah. And west. Yeah. Okay. That must mean I am up in the north here, yeah. So I should go south, and I should be there. I have to go south. That's a... To check it. If I go west now, it should split into two. Right. I don't have any food. I mean, I have maybe something. No, I don't have any food. There's nothing here. Oh, it's so easy. You can just eat all the mushrooms. Yeah, but there's no mushrooms. There's no mushrooms. Split. Doesn't look like it's splitting. Again, like, I think I am actually in the right place. I know where to go now, but there's no food, there's no water, there's no fire, there's nothing up there, like, at all. So, unless you knew that going in, then you would have to prepare for it by bringing the stuff. This whole plateau has got nothing. Car crashes and toilets. And that's it. So, how are you supposed to survive up here if you don't know exactly where to go? And you brought supplies. I guess it makes sense that you should bring supplies, though I was just kind of like, you can just survive as you go along. So, okay, fine, that's fine. But still, I have to go down there to, went north, so I think actually it was the right place then. I just couldn't see the weather towers or a cabin or whatever. Now I'm heading west. So I think I'm going now along the river here. But it should really be to the south. But again, I don't have any food. I might have to go down a level to find food. Now I really should go south, really. That river must be the one I thought it was. But where is the station then? I could swear I was in the right place, but I guess not. And now we're going downhill. Southwest, really? No, actually, yeah, that makes sense. But again, running out of food here. Might have to like leave this plateau to get food, because there's nothing up here. Unless I make it there in time, which I don't think I will. At least I know where I am, I think. This surprise that does mean I was roughly the right place. I just couldn't find the weather tower amongst the trees. Now there's a hill over there. Oh. Doesn't make any sense. I probably am not where I think I am. I think I'm gonna die actually then. That's okay. Makes it more challenging than I thought. That's fine, the baby's waking up anyway. So, parental duties are calling, so that's what this ended here. Can't find any food, so hindsight I should have just brought a bunch of stuff. Oh well. No, no, for next time, bring a bunch of food. And a bunch of wood too. But now I'm getting cold, I'm getting hungry. And there's literally nothing around, nothing. Nothing to eat, nothing to burn, nothing. But what are you supposed to do? I don't think there is much you can do. So I think this is GG actually. Well, in that case, I gotta humbly admit that this game is a little bit harder than I thought. But of course it is a navigational issue, combined with a preparation issue. Tell you what, that makes it a bit more fun. I'm gonna die now in maybe 1 minute. Yeah, something like a minute. I'm dying now. There's nothing up here, like at all. Not even a cabin. Just those car crashes. That's it. There's no mushrooms. No wood. Rock formations, but that doesn't do anything for me. I'm gonna die now. Now that's unexpected, but a welcome unexpected one. Who knows what happened here? Oh, I died. You died of hunger. All right, that was fun. The data. So calories, hydration, body temperature, weather type, thunderstorm, -1, distance to closest to 400 meters. So wasn't there that far. All right, so that was interesting. I'm gonna click play again so you can just love what we talk. All right, fellow survivors, a little reflection here at the end, because I was actually a bit surprised that I died in this run, because it started out very easy. As I said in the beginning, I thought the whole game was ridiculously easy. You could just run around and eat mushrooms and you'd pretty much never die. Just eat mushrooms and have some fires and that's it. I wasn't prepared that on the other side of the map, especially at high elevation, there would be so little firewood. This makes sense in the way that we are higher up and there'll be less firewood, but there's also a bunch of trees around all over the place. So I was a bit surprised that there was no firewood at all and also no food sources, which made it very hard. Now, another thing to think about this particular run is that actually something changed after the run was completed. You see, I mentioned in the run that it would be nice if there was some sort of tracking system that could tell you where you went in the run. Well, this actually does exist in the full version of the game, which is currently on limited early access that only a few people can play. And I happen to be one of the few people that have a copy of the early access game and I'm allowed to actually show it to you as well. But this happened after the current run. But what this means is that I now have the ability to go back to the same map that I was on and fly around and see what happened. And if I do this, there are a few things to keep in mind. The program of Prologue uses a seed function, which allows it to create over 2 billion worlds, and I can input a command that creates the map I was on exactly the same as it was. Now, this gives me the map that I played in this run, but there are some limitations. The general map layout is the same, but the location of cabins and some of the terrain is a bit different, as in like some details in the terrain is different. But that being said, if I look back on the run that I had, I actually did navigate pretty well. When I crossed the 2 rivers, I tried to estimate where I was, and looking at the map later, this is actually where I was roughly. The part when I climbed up a slope close to the weather station is also where I thought I was. I was on track the entire time. To my surprise, though, I never found the weather station, and it actually is a bit strange because I looked around on the free flow map and even checked where it is, and it is right there on top of this massive hill, and I walked up there several times. I even checked the footage multiple times and even frame by frame to see if I just happened to walk past it, but literally I cannot see it anywhere. So I don't know what happened in this particular run. Come to think of it, I never saw the weather station, so it's possible that there was just a bug and the weather station actually didn't appear, or it could be that when it was dark I walked past the weather station without realizing. It turned out that the river I found at the end is also the river I thought it was in the north, so my navigation this run was actually pretty accurate. I was more or less where I thought I was at all times. I just couldn't find the weather station, and then I ran out of food and firewood. So yeah, so it's possible that I just somehow missed it, even though I was in the right area, or it could have been a bug. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, it was a fun experience because it's interesting when you fail a challenge and are forced to learn from it. Just like in the Long Dark, you die all the time, and each death is a lesson, and each death will make you better at the game. In this particular run, I learned that you should probably come prepared for high elevations. Bring some food, bring some firewood, because you never know what's going to happen. And that would have saved me in this particular case, and I maybe would have even found the weather station, if it is there, that is. So that, yeah, it's an interesting experience, and I like that I died in the sense that I learned something from it. I could have, of course, just retried this run and then succeeded and showed you that, but where's the fun in that? We got to learn from our mistakes sometimes, and that's how you become a better player. So even though I didn't actually find the weather station and I did die, it was still a fun run, and I felt I was fairly good at navigation. A bit miffed that I couldn't find the weather station, but it was an adventure nevertheless. Now, this is probably going to be the last video that I have of the demo of this game, because as I said, I actually do have a copy of the full game in its current state, and I might try that next. But soon the game will also be in public early access, and everyone can try the full experience. So stay tuned, and if you watched all this way, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.